Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you are familiar with Work Life Glue. My name is Sarah. I am so excited for this video, not because it's like an amazing video or anything. It's because I have had this video waiting to be put up for over a month, but a lot has happened in the last month, which I will detail at the very end of this video. Let's just say we've had a lot of health issues going on, and so I was not able to post this video, but since I mostly had it edited and I kind of left you guys hanging with our packing and getting ready for this trip, I thought I would actually show you a little bit of the trip, especially if you're in the Midwest area and you want a fun place to stay. I would highly recommend the AirBnB we stayed at, which I will talk about later in this video. So enjoy and then watch until the end to kind of hear what's going on with us if you haven't been around on Instagram or seen our community tab and don't know what's going on. Hey guys, welcome to vacation. We are on our way to stay at a little farm called Stars Hollow. Can you guess why we picked it? Because Gilmore Girls. So we're really excited. The van is packed completely full. We got 3 kids in here. They're watching a VeggieTales movie. It is 3 o'clock. We waited till after nap because we can't check in anyway till 4 o'clock and it takes a couple hours. So we're on our way. It is like 92 degrees out, very hot. Praying that the house is okay while we're gone, and yeah, we're gonna just show you some of the highlights of our little vacation. Oh, that's funny. Hi, chicken.
We're little chicks.
It's peaceful. It's way back. Look at the mushrooms, girls. Yes. Lenny's napping, so we're just played Tenzi. Now we're doing some activity books. Brought our playpen and we brought our peg dolls and felt mat and everything, and originally the playpen was going to be for Gwenny, but she kept getting into Bryony playing, so we put Bryony stuff in here so Gwenny can't mess it up. I'm reading at Green Gables. Gwenny's napping. Santa's down at the pond with the girls. The ducks are just roaming around the yard. It's so peaceful. We just went to get ice cream. And there are a couple things that I realized we probably wanted, like we didn't have a sound machine or a fan for the girls' room. We had one for Gwenny's room, so I think they'll nap a lot better. So we bought another fan. You can never have too many fans in life, so not a big deal. And then we didn't have like chip clips, or we usually just use clothespins at home, so we bought some of those for bags and stuff. And then we also didn't bring any like Tupperware or bags for food that like we cut up an onion. We didn't have anywhere to put it. So just some random things that we hadn't thought about needing. I'd love to know what would be on your list. Well, it is full day number 2. I don't know if you guys can tell, I got bit by a mosquito or something on my lip. It's like all puffed up. Both girls got like stepped on a bee or got stung by a bee on the bottom of their foot, so that was fun. And then a little girl is staying with her family at the other little cottage, and so they've been playing. She's 7, so it's perfect. Look for tadpoles. I tried to find a little tiny turtle this morning, couldn't find one, but we're gonna go to a restaurant for lunch, get out for a little bit, and I don't know, my lip, I feel like I just got done with the dentist. It's all a weird feeling. We made paper airplanes. Let's see if they fly. Ooh. Hi. So just to save some sanity when it came time to plan meals and pack, we just let our everyday plate come last week, the end of last week, and then we just took it with us. Obviously, it would be easier to do like hot dogs and burgers and crock pot meals, but this is just easier for packing purposes because it only comes with what you need. You don't need anything extra. So we like that. I mean, it does take a little bit longer, but Sam prepped these fajitas earlier, and now we're ready to eat. Can you guys see all the moths everywhere? Yeah, they're flying everywhere. What do you think? Do you like to look at them? Yeah? Seriously, can you guys see butterflies everywhere? Flying. Oh my gosh. Everywhere. Did you girls make a picture? Super cool. Good morning, guys. It is now Sunday. We got home yesterday. We didn't film a whole lot because a lot of emotions yesterday. Kids were sad to leave. Baby would not nap in the car, and we drove home from like 11 to 1:30, and she was just screaming, which made the other girls really upset because they were listening to her screaming. So I just didn't really feel like filming. We already unpacked everything, and now we have like 5 loads of laundry to do. So I am just staging it all right here in the dining room, so because everybody's laundry is all mixed together. This little one has been crawling all over the main floor today. You're getting so good at crawling, baby. Santa, of course, had to work early this morning. I'm glad he got some time off, but he's back at it. And he will be home to mow and do some yard work this afternoon. But I'm not even dressed. This shirt turned into a pajama shirt because it's like really see-through. But yeah, just a lot of laundry and getting the house back together and just hanging out as a family. Nothing too exciting going on today. So I have shared in the past some of these kits that I got from Etsy. It's a shop. It's a shop called Just Imagine. I'll have to link it below. I can't remember the name now off the top of my head. I always forget it, but it's like Just Imagine, Just Imagination Co. or something like that. She makes the best little kits. They fit these trays. So I bought 2 of the trays back at Christmas time, and now I just buy some of the sets here and there. And so I surprised the girls when we got back with they got this beach set, which has a dad, a little girl, and a mom. I think you can pick different people. And then the girls, Cecilia, kind of decorated the surfboard. It comes with all these little things and the little felt mats. So cute. Then I also got this little garden set with a little garden woman and a little bee and a little ladybug. And then those roses come off. They've got Velcro on the back. It's got this garden. Bryony colored the fence. I don't mind they do that. I think it's kind of fun that they can decorate it however they want. And sometimes there's these wooden pieces that they like to color with marker, but so cute for open-ended play. We can mix and match, pull them out at any time. I just think they are so fun. Gwenny is down for her nap. We were just outside watering all the plants because it's been so hot and not a lot of rain. I had sprinklers watering them when we were gone, but I just took those apart, put them away, and got everything watered. The girls were getting really hot, so they wanted to come in. I got this little campfire set for them that they've been begging to play with. So we got out Artie's basket in the sun. You can like, it's a Melissa and Doug set. So it's got like Velcro, and then you can cut the logs. It's got s'mores. You can roast the marshmallows, and you can turn them inside out. So they start out white, and then you can flip them. Yeah. And then they're roasted, and you can make little s'mores. This is really cute. So I got our little tent out from my childhood, and we're playing that right now. Another simple Sunday lunch, just turkey and cheese roll-ups, apples, carrots with hummus. Gwenny's having just some bread with hummus, some cooked carrots, some apples, and a feeder, and a pickle. Another thing that came recently were these first day and last day of school boards. I have one for Celia, the exact same one, and I decided to pick up one for each of the other girls before, you know, summer, so that I have them by the time Bryony starts preschool this fall. And even though we're homeschooling, Bryony will be doing preschool at a church because we just thought it would be really good for her. She's a very social kid. So we're still doing that with her, and I just wanted to make sure we had the same ones for all 3. So it has their name on it. You can say first day of school, last day of school, whatever. And I will link to these below. I got them from, I think it's called personalizationmall.com. I just wanted to get them before they stop making this particular one because it's been a couple years since I got Celia. So very cute. Just got the little ones down for nap. It is about 1 o'clock now. Santa will hopefully be home soonish. I'm not really sure. Just put our laundry away, so just have some towels put away, but everything here is cleared off as far as laundry goes. I am going to plan for the week. I have my little list of things here to plan for the next week. And then I recently, like, I don't know, do you guys get sucked in by Instagram ads? I totally do. And I saw an Instagram ad for a thing called Remarkable 2, which is like a notebook tablet thing, which is really cool, but it's like, I don't know, $500 to $700, and there's absolutely no way I'm spending that. This was like $35, so I looked for something kind of similar. This is a like smart notebook, digital notebook. I don't really know exactly. It's called the Rocketbook. Maybe you guys have heard of it. I had never really looked into these before, but I just thought it was a really good idea because I do have space for lists and things in my planner, but sometimes I make lists and then lose them because even though I have my planner, I get it from my mom. She always has lists all over, like on napkins and stuff on her table, just to get the thoughts down. And so I thought it would be nice to put them in this notebook. And then the cool thing is I got the one, I forget exact, this is called the Rocketbook Fusion. So this has, they have different kinds, different sizes and different things. So on your phone in the app, you can correspond each little symbol to different places to keep them. I'm keeping them all in Evernote. So I just made a different like folder in Evernote with these titles, and then this one will email it to myself, and then you can also like email it to somebody else if you want to write something down and email to somebody. And it has different templates. So this one's like a task template, It's got like a planner template, so I use this for planning out our week of vacation. It's got like a monthly one, like a goal planning, idea one, and then it's got a bunch of dot grid ones and then a bunch of lined paper. And so what you can do, let me find, okay, so for example, I made this one for vacation must-haves. Like, I made a list of different things that we're gonna want next time we ever go on vacation that we didn't have with us, like a sound machine, scissors, Tupperware bag, clothespins for like closing up bags and stuff, a nightlight, first aid kit, so on and so forth. You put 2 hashtags and then it will read your writing if you have neat handwriting, which I do not. And then you scan it in, you check whichever symbol, I don't know if you guys can see the symbols down there. So if I wanted it to go in personal lists, I would check the diamond, because that's where my personal lists go. And then in the app that goes along with it, it'll save it to your phone. So it will save it. So for example, here's the itinerary I did for our vacation, and it knew what the title was, or I might have added that, I can't remember. It sees which symbol you checked. I like this because I can just save them in my phone. So if there's lists, like if I'm gonna make all my grocery lists and stuff in here, and so I will just keep it on my phone instead of having to actually remember a list, because I often forget it. And it's nicer than just taking a picture of it, because it actually saves it. You have it on the app, but you also have it in wherever you saved it. So I have it in Evernote, which is really nice. And then the cool thing is you're using friction pens that erase, and so you can erase all of this and use it again and again, and it's all digitized, which I like. So I have like our packing list I made. I have an idea of different parks to visit this summer, so I can have that with me at all times. I don't have to just remember like off the top of my head, or try to remember, you know, if we're out and about and we have some time, we can just look up a park and go there this summer. So that's my plan. I'm really liking this. I will update you guys over time on how I'm liking it. Oh yeah, the reason I was showing you guys this was I used to have a page per day in my planner, but now I switched to 2 pages, or 2 days per page. And I used to have a whole weekly section where I would plan out my week and then transfer it to my daily pages, but that just seems kind of redundant. But I still like to kind of map out the week before I actually write it all down. So I'm going to use the weekly, if I can get to it. I'm going to use one of these weekly spreads just to kind of write down things here and then transfer it here, so it's a little neater and cleaner, and I'm not like doing all my chicken scratch erasing and moving stuff around like I do when I plan. I'll do it in here, transfer it, and then I can erase it. Okay, I have done all my planning for the week and I feel good about it. It's a lot, just because I'm watching One Little Boy 3 days a week, one of Celia's best friends 1 day a week. We're trying to go do fun stuff. It's Father's Day, trying to get a lot of work done. It's a lot, but it should be a good weekend. So Bryony and Celia are both up. Gwenny's still sleeping, so they're having a little Kindle time. We are doing a strict very little screens starting tomorrow, but I'm just trying to ease into coming home from vacation and trying to get a bunch of stuff done. So I noticed a lot of Bryony's clothes are getting kind of tight in the 3T size, so I'm gonna pull down her 4T stuff from up above. If you guys haven't seen my whole hand-me-down clothing system, it's a great system, especially if you don't have a lot of like extra storage space in your house, which we do not. Our storage room in our house is very small. I'm grateful for it, but I definitely don't want to be keeping clothes in there, and having 3 girls, we've got lots of hand-me-downs coming in and out, so we just store them in their closets. I will link to that video below. It's a very helpful video, but I'm just gonna pull down the 4T, see what I have. I may wash them again, but if they're not too wrinkled, I may just hang them up. It's not a big deal. They've just been sitting in this bag in her closet for a couple of years since Celia wore them, and so that's what I'm gonna do. I was gonna wait to do it till next weekend, but I want to get it done, so I'm gonna do that now. Also, so I got these bins with the drawers for our trip, thinking I would use them in Bryony's room, because I've been going back and forth about bringing this down to the playroom slash homeschool room so I can have an extra place to set stuff and just to grow with us, to keep puzzles and supplies and stuff like that. But I've gone back and forth about if I really want to do that or not. So I plan to put these in here. I'm missing one drawer that's downstairs, but so that anything that she keeps in her dresser can now go in her closet, but I just am torn if I'm actually going to do that. So I've been playing around in my head all day of rearranging things, and I just don't know yet, but I'm sure I will keep you guys posted. I know it's a riveting discussion of whether we will move the dressers or not. Okay, so I got all of her 4T stuff that is like summer appropriate, plus I just have this birthday shirt. Like any themed shirts, I have this Halloween Paw Patrol shirt I keep here, but basically this is all summer appropriate stuff for the most part. I have a couple cardigans, one long sleeve dress, and a couple sweatshirts. And then I just am gonna keep her long sleeve fall, winter, spring stuff in here for now and just switch them out. Like she's a kid who does not need extra choices, and I could not believe how much 4T size stuff I had, like way too much. But the fact that 3 girls will be wearing all this makes me feel a little bit better. And then this is just like warmer pajamas, raincoats, vests, that kind of thing. And then I don't have time to, oh, and swimsuits that are a little too big for her still. I just find swimsuits run kind of big. So like these are all 4T, but they're gonna be way too big on her. She still fits in 3T swimsuits, and last year she wore 2T. So anyway, and then this is all size 3T in here. I don't have time to put them back in the bags, so I will do that a different day, but I just rolled them all up so I can do that later. And then we did have some extra like 2T stuff. A lot of the pajamas and stuff are like 2 to 3 year olds. Sometimes they get gifts that are a little too small, so I put them in their closets, and I will add that to 2T stuff later on. But now we have just pajamas that will fit her, pants, and like so many tights and like, I don't know, like cable knit pant legging things for her, and then shorts and swimsuits. I still need to switch out all of Gwen's. All of her 9 to 12 month clothes are in her closet, but I would like to get the 6 to 9 month clothes out and donate, but not in a hurry to do that. But I want to kind of do all the clothes stuff at once. So I will finish this a different day. You may or may not see it, but just sharing what I'm doing with you guys. So the girls wanted to put on like a fashion show concert. So they did that. We got this little karaoke machine Bryony got for her birthday. And then they wanted us to sing, so Santa and I did a duet to As Long As You're Mine from Wicked. And then I just realized how fun that is to do karaoke. I've never done it like in front of people before. Fun little embarrassing fact, I had a big mirror in my room in like middle school and high school, and I would sing into my karaoke machine I had for like hours every day. I love singing. I am not good at it, but then I just took over singing different Wicked songs for like 25 minutes, and it was really fun, and they all just left. So yeah, I might make that my new pastime with my family, is singing karaoke. It was a lot of fun. I would have showed you guys, but all the music is copyrighted, so I can't show you. Santa's making an every plate meal. We had one left over from this week. Pork sausage linguine Italiano. And I think we're gonna do mac and cheese for the girls because it's Sunday night, and Sunday night is kids eat whatever they want night. So guys, thank you for watching. I'm gonna quickly talk about what happened in the last month just to kind of catch you up, so that as we move forward, if I reference any of this stuff, you know what's happening. So we went on our trip. It was like a 4-night trip, 5-day trip. Nothing huge, but perfect amount of time for our little family. And we got home on a Saturday, and on Sunday, I noticed, TMI, one of my breasts was really red, kind of hard. I'm nursing, so I was like, oh no, oh no. And so I was trying to like massage it and stuff. The next morning I woke up, fever, really tired, not feeling good. I knew it was mastitis. I've had it 3 other times, 1 other time this year actually. And so I immediately, like 4 a.m. called Virtuel, or did the Virtuel thing to get the antibiotics. Started feeling better a little bit the next day, and it slowly started feeling better. But my husband Sam started feeling kind of like he had a cold that same Monday. To be honest, I was like, is my husband getting like phantom sickness, really? Like, I have mastitis. You obviously can't have what I have. He never gets sick, really, so I was like, that's just weird. But as the week went on, I lost my voice, which I thought was kind of weird. I thought maybe it's just like residual from, you know, traveling to another state an hour and a half away. I don't know. He started getting better, and then we both started getting worse. The Friday after our trip, so I had mastitis Monday. Friday after our trip, he lost his sense of taste, and we noticed that at supper, and we both looked at each other and said, oh my goodness, we need to get tested. So the next morning we both woke up. I felt so sick. I couldn't smell anything. I was like, see, and I don't think I could smell anything because my little girls had brought flowers to me to smell, and I'm like, I don't smell anything. So I went to the litter box and I put my, not in it, but I like put my face by it, and I was like, I cannot smell anything. It's the ultimate test to see if you have a sense of smell. Just put your head by the litter box. Anyway, so we took our family of 5. We got tested, just the 2 of us first. I didn't want to put my little girls through that unless we had to. Plus they weren't having any symptoms. Sure enough, we both had COVID. I'm not going to talk a lot about it, but I know people have asked if we were vaccinated. No, we were not. And now, you know, we have immunity at least for a while. I was nursing. I've done a ton of research on the vaccines. I always try to research everything I do to my body, and because it's still very new, there's not a whole lot of research, but I just did not feel comfortable vaccinating while nursing, which that's, you know, you have to do what you feel most comfortable with, especially because I'm very healthy overall, and I didn't think, and I'm not around a lot of people. So, you know, my husband also is not around a lot of people with his job and stuff, and we just wanted to wait to see what the longer term effects were from the vaccine, especially now because men his age, a little younger, have been having heart issues and things like that. So we just really wanted to wait. But you know, you make your own decision, but that's why we weren't vaccinated. Anyway, we really don't know where we got it because when we were in Iowa, we barely went anywhere. We went to a kids museum and we were masked. We went to a Walmart where we were like not around very many people, and then went to a restaurant and we took our mask off to eat. So I'm like, I really don't know because we hardly went anywhere. And thankfully we didn't expose very many people, so that I'm very thankful for. Anyway, so we got COVID. Our symptoms weren't too bad, but when you have 3 really little kids and you're pretty sick, like mostly we just had a cough. We were super exhausted, and then there were a couple days in there where I was super lightheaded, could barely walk. I could not get up, like I just needed to lay. And when you've got 3 little kids, like it makes it impossible to really rest. So that was the hardest part, but we were not like so having such trouble breathing that we like had to be hospitalized or anything. And then our 3 little girls ended up all having it too, but they had very mild symptoms, mostly just fevers off and on. One of them had a cough, one of them had like a runny nose. The baby was just a little fussy here and there. The 3-year-old for sure was the hardest one to get tested, but overall, you know, not too bad. So we quarantined, we followed all the things we had to do, and I didn't go around anybody until the girls ended their quarantine. So there's that. So finally end our quarantine. I started feeling a little bit better. I was like up cleaning the house, doing laundry and stuff because I wanted the little boy who I watch 3 days a week to be able to come back once our quarantine ended. And then I fell asleep on the couch one night. So this was a week after. This was like 10 or 12 days after my symptoms started. So we're on this is the 3rd week of being sick, basically, and out of commission. I fell asleep on the couch. I often do that at night because I'm too tired to go to bed. And my husband used to try to wake me up to get me to go to bed, but I wake up and I'm not very nice when I get woken up. So he left me. I woke up in the morning and my back hurt so bad. So I thought I slept on it weird. And so I went the whole day, you know, my back hurts, whatever. The next day I slept in bed normal. I woke up and oh my gosh, my whole right side of my back was just hurting so bad. My husband went to work and I thought, you know, well, I feel good, like I don't feel sick. I want to do stuff with my kids. So I set up water play, we did crafts all morning, but I was in a lot of pain. By the time my husband came home, I had to sit down on the couch and I'm like, you're gonna have to make supper, you're gonna have to do bedtime, baths, like I can't do anything. My back hurts so bad. So I sat on the couch with like pillows behind me and I literally could not move without intense pain. And then I started to notice every time I would breathe, I would have intense pain on my right side. And I thought, what the heck did I do to my back? Like my back hurts so bad. How, like, did I pinch a nerve or something? And so then my husband went to go do baths with the girls. He brought me supper on the couch, really sweet. He's been so helpful with all of this. And I just went to lay down because I'm like, I just need to go to sleep. I went to get into our bed and of course the cat's trying to like lay on me and I'm so upset, like just get off of me, but I can't like swat him away. And I am like retching in pain. I can't really describe it, but it felt as bad as labor. Like it hurt so badly to move, to breathe, to be alive. And I tried like doing different positions even though it like hurt so bad to move and I couldn't. And I ended up texting my mom because I had been texting her throughout this, like I don't know what I did. And I said, she said, are you okay? And I said, this is the worst pain I've ever had in my life, which is saying a lot when I just had a baby, induced on Pitocin, and my epidural failed. That's saying a lot. I was begging for a C-section. Like I was in so much pain, and this was as bad or worse because it's every time I would breathe, my whole back would seize up. I felt like I was having stabbing pains, shooting pains. It hurt so bad. So then my dad ended up calling me and he said, do you need to go to the hospital? And I'm like, I really didn't want to, but I'm like, I guess I need to. Like, I can't move, I can't breathe, like I'm not gonna be able to sleep. I can't care for my kids like this tomorrow. So he ended up coming to get me because San, you know, was laying the girls down. I didn't want to take all 3 girls to the hospital. My dad ended up getting me and I like rode with my hand up on the like, I don't know what we call it, the bleep bar. And like, so I wouldn't have to rest my right side down, and he was like hitting all these bumps and I'm like, ah. So he takes me to the emergency room. Thank God there was a guy with a wheelchair there that brought me in because I could barely walk, and even just sitting hurt, like it just hurt so bad. And so thankfully, like I was past my window for COVID, so I could be there, masked and everything. And so they checked me in. I told them, you know, I had COVID, but I'm so many days past my isolation period, I shouldn't be contagious anymore. And we wait, and I look up at the screen and it says like all these people have been waiting for like 3.5 hours. And I'm like, I can't wait. I took 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol, did nothing, and I had nothing else in my house to help me. And I'm like, I need relief. Like I'm gonna go crazy. I can't do this. Like I felt like I was in labor, except with labor, you know, a baby's gonna come out and the pain should go away. With this, I didn't know what was wrong. I was just like in so much pain trying to like, and I was trying to like do birthing exercises where you breathe to calm down, except every time I took a breath, it hurt so bad. So I was like trying to just breathe out of my left nostril, but that doesn't happen. Like that's not possible. So anyway, after like 30 minutes, they call me back and I'm like, oh my God, thank you, God. And the nurse is like asking me all these questions, and then he goes, okay, so it's gonna be probably about a 3-hour wait out in the waiting room. And I'm like, wait, what? You're not giving me a bed yet? And he's like, sorry, we're really overbooked right now. And I'm like, can you give me anything? Like I need drugs. Like I need drugs. I can't wait out there for 3 hours. I'm gonna be screaming in pain. And he's like, well, we can't give you anything stronger than some ibuprofen because you're not admitted yet. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I just made it very clear, like I can't go on like this. It hurts so bad. And so he gave me a bunch of ibuprofen. And then he's like, wait, so you have COVID? And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm over the window or whatever. And he's like, let me go talk to somebody. And he went to talk to somebody, and I don't really know, but they said because you have COVID, you need to be admitted. We can't leave you out in the waiting room. And honestly, I didn't say anything about the isolation window at that point, like, but I'm not contagious anymore because I just wanted a bed. And I was in so much pain, I wasn't thinking clearly. So I was like, thank you God. He's like, 3 beds just opened up, we're gonna give you one of them. But your dad can't stay with you because you have COVID. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So my dad went to wait out in the waiting room. Then they gave me, I don't know what they gave me, but it started to feel better. They gave me muscle relaxers. I think that's it. And then a doctor came and talked to me and was just talking to me. He didn't even look at my back, nothing. And he was just asking, you know, what were your COVID symptoms? What got you here? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, so I'm thinking that we will give you some muscle relaxers and some pain meds, and then you can probably go home. And I was just kind of delirious. It was really late at night at this point, way past my bedtime. And I just thought, that's kind of weird, but whatever. Like, I wanted relief more than anything. But I just thought it was weird. He didn't even look at my back. And I'm like, but what's gonna actually make it better? Because this pain didn't seem like I slept on it funny anymore, especially because it was every time I would breathe. So he leaves, and then thank God, like, they have a whole team of people they talk to. So then nurse came in and said, let's do a urine analysis, like maybe there's something going on there. And she's like, I just want to make sure we check everything before you're discharged. And then the attending physician came in and said, you know, because you just had COVID, I think we should do a chest x-ray just to see if there's any pneumonia or anything going on. And we'll do some blood work just to see, you know, if that can tell us anything. So I was feeling a little more comfortable then, because I'm like, honestly, when I went there, I had a feeling I'd be admitted into the actual hospital for whatever reason, just because it was so bad. Like, I've never experienced pain like that except giving birth. And so, like, when they asked me what the pain scale was on the pain, like what my pain level was, I said a 9, because to me, birth is a 10. Like, I think any woman who's given birth, like, that's always the ultimate level of pain that you've ever felt. So I gave this a 9, even though, like, it totally was as bad, but I reserved that for birth. Anyway, so I went and got a chest x-ray, and then they did some blood work. I did the urine analysis, and then they came back and said, your blood work showed that you have a lot of inflammation and possibly an infection. You know, the inflammation might be pointing to possibly a blood clot. So we would recommend a CT scan at this point, just to see, you know, that is a complication of COVID. You're not having chest pain, but it's probably best to just check, because that could be very serious. And I knew nothing about blood clots at this point. I'm just like, do whatever you gotta do. Thankfully, I wasn't in a lot of pain then, just because I was on a lot of different things. And so they took me in to do the CT scan. You know, you wait a while for your results. And then I think a nurse came in and was like, so we did find a PE and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, wait, does that mean blood clot? And she said, yes, a pulmonary embolism. You have a pulmonary embolism in your lower right lung. And I said, wait, so is that what's causing my pain throughout my back? And she said, yes, the pain is actually in your lung, but it's also radiating pain throughout your whole back. So we think that's what all your symptoms are from. Not sleeping on it wrong. It's from a pulmonary embolism. So that gave me relief, because I didn't really know anything about him. And so she said, unfortunately, we are gonna have to admit you into the hospital tonight. It probably won't be a long stay. And I was like, so like a few hours? And she's like, no, probably a day or two. I'm like, shoot, I got 3 kids and my husband's supposed to work tomorrow. Shoot. So they wheel me over, and I end up getting put on blood thinners and doing all that stuff. We end up deciding to just be done nursing, because my body had been through so much at this point. I was still in so much pain, and you don't know how long the pain's gonna last. The blood thinners don't actually heal the clot. Your body heals the clot, and the blood thinners just allow it to do that, and allow it and keep your body from you know, making more blood clots or making the blood clot worse. So you don't really know how long the pain's gonna last. They said it could be weeks. And so I just, as sad as I decided to just stop nursing. My baby's 10.5 months now, and although I nursed way longer with my other two, I needed to take something off my plate because it had been a roller coaster of a month. So yes, so I ended up going home the next day. I was on a lot of pain meds because it hurt so bad, and it still hurt really bad for a few days. But I feel like it's, you know, my body's healing it, and I feel so much better than I did. But the hard thing is, you know, Googling pulmonary embolism and realizing how, had I not gone in, I probably would not be holding this camera doing this video right now. It's a very serious thing. So I shared this on Instagram mainly to spread awareness because I didn't really know anything about this, and especially because my pain was in my back. That's not even listed as a symptom on anywhere you will look online. It always talks about chest pain. I didn't have any chest pain. I did have a hard time breathing, but I also had just had COVID. But it hurts, my whole right side of my back would seize up. Like it, I mean, I was so tense. And you know, the pain, and when you are having trouble breathing, you always think about your chest hurting. So when you feel this pain in your back, I would never say my lung hurts from that. I just thought it was my back hurting. I don't really know what my lungs feel like, if that makes sense. You always think about pain here. So I'm just grateful that it wasn't just that first doctor in the ER that took a look at me. That other doctor stepped in and said, no, she just had COVID. I think we should look at more. Because if he had sent me home with just muscle relaxers, then the muscle relaxers did help because my whole back was locked up, but that's not addressing the real issue. And if we had waited, the blood clot could have moved to my heart and I could have died. So they said it was a very large clot, but the strain on my heart wasn't a lot at the time, but we definitely wanted to deal with it. So anyway, I'm doing a lot better now. Besides, I then got stung by a wasp. I'm like, what? I mean, that was minor compared to everything, but I'm like, really? And then my mom texted me saying, I hope the wasp sting doesn't like interfere with all the other stuff you have going on. And I'm like, thanks, Mom. Now I get to worry about that. Like, I wouldn't even Google wasp stings because I was in like what they should look like, because I'm like, I'm so sick of Googling things and thinking I'm gonna die. So I'm just gonna go with listen to your body, and if it gets worse, I'll get it checked out. Anyway, so that's been my last month. Sorry, this was way longer than a couple minutes, but it was a journey, and I wanted to share all of it because, first of all, the first doctor was a male doctor. The nurse and the other doctor who looked into me more were both women. And the more I've shared about that, the more I'm like, not that all men doctors are bad or that even this doctor was bad, but it just makes you really think about advocating for yourself. And if your pain is through the roof and it feels like it's probably more than just muscle pain, advocate for yourself. Push to get more tests. You know, it sucks that we have to do that, but they also have a lot of people they're dealing with, and you know, different levels of experience, and maybe he had never seen back pain before with a blood clot, and so there's always new symptoms that people experience and stuff goes undetected. And so just really advocate for yourself. And I, you know, throughout this whole process, I'm just very grateful that I've had a good mindset about it. I felt grateful that we didn't have a really bad case of COVID, that my babies were okay, that we didn't spread it around, that, I don't know, so many different things. And then with my pulmonary embolism, I told my 6-year-old I was so thankful for that pain, because had it not been so intense, I wouldn't have gone in for it. Like, moms don't go in for a little pain, you know? But it was so debilitating that it was setting off red flags in my mind that something's going on. I had no idea it was a blood clot, but I'm glad I listened to that, and I'm so thankful for my parents for helping, and just, you know, it's been a really hard month, but I'm just so grateful to be on the other side. I have a fresh outlook. I cherish my girls even more. I cherish my husband even more. I cherish each day even more. And just grateful I'm here to talk about it. So that's been our last month and a half. Videos going forward will be, you know, post pulmonary embolism and COVID and mastitis and wasp sting. So yeah, we have kind of a gap in the timeline, but hopefully it'll all make sense. So thank you guys so much for watching. Sending lots of prayers for well wishes and health and prosperity and everything your way. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.